Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Sejanus, his fall, and we have a very dramatic Act 3, Scene 1 going on, and we get to hear from Silius today in this. So we are in the Senate, and they set the scene, and we saw Sejanus giving Varro everything that he needed to start this sort of sham trial against Silius. But then Tiberius came in with the, oh my goodness, I'm grieving, why are all of you sad? And here's Nero and young Drusus, so please welcome them to the Senate, and oh my goodness, I want to retire. But then Sejanus is like, no, you can't, and Tiberius is like, okay, I won't. Go ahead and proceed with the trial. So we then had Varro accuse Silius of embezzlement and being a traitor, because they say that when he was off fighting this war against Shakesyear, he extended it a lot longer than it needed to be so that he could make more money off of it. And they're like, yeah, and you and your wife are, just reaping the benefits of being there and having this really long war go on. And Silius is like, this is all flat out lies. He tried to get the case thrown out, but Tiberius is like, no, they're following procedure, so there's really nothing I can do. And Silius starts to get an idea that he's being set up here. So he starts pushing back on all the people who have accused him. And then Sejanus also pipes up, in addition to Afer and Varro, Sejanus also pipes up and is like, this is impious behavior, this is insolent behavior. So Silius says, take part, reveal yourselves. Alas, I sent not your confederacies, your plots and combinations. I not know, minion Sejanus hates me. And that all this boast of law, and law is but a form, a net of Vulcan's filling, a mere engine to take that life by a pretext of justice, which you pursue in malice. I want brain or nostril to persuade me that your ends and purposes are made to what they are before my answer. You equal gods, whose justice, not a world of wolf-turned men, shall make me to accuse, however provoked, have I for this so oft engaged myself, stood in the heat and fervor of a fight, when Phoebus sooner hath forsook the day than I the field against the blue-eyed Gauls and crisped Germans, when our Roman eagles have fanned the fire with their laboring wings, and no blow dealt that left not death behind it, when I have charged alone into the troops of curled Sicambrians, routed them, and came not off with backward ensigns of a slave, but forward marks. Wounds on my breast and face were meant to thee, O Caesar, and thy Rome. And have I this return? Did I for this perform so noble and so brave defeat? O Shakesyear, O Jove, let it become me to boast my deeds when he whom they concern shall thus forget them. So he's angry. He's angry. But he starts out this a little bit almost, I don't want to say relieved, but maybe a little self-righteous, because having Sejanus pipe up and say like, oh, this is terrible behavior, he's like, okay, now I can start to see who all of my enemies are in this room. I don't necessarily know what your plots are, but at least I'm starting to see who's on which side. And he's like, I want an honest argument. I want a true argument of what I have done wrong, because this is not a true argument. This is not fair. This is not justice. And he's like, this is what I've been laying my life down for repeatedly. Because remember, Silius was a war hero. This is how he's known. He's a soldier with a really good reputation. So he's like, it was me on the battlefield when nobody else wanted to be there. It was me on the battlefield running in to fight the enemy, and I didn't turn tail and run away. I fought them and took wounds to the front half of my body, to my face, because that means I was there and facing them and fighting them face to face, specifically for Tiberius and for Rome. And now this is how Rome is going to treat me? He's like, he calls on the gods at the end. He's like, please, please spare me and back me up, because the people who I did this for, the people who I sacrificed so much for, seem to have completely forgotten everything that I did. And Aphor is going to have a response in the form of a monologue to that tomorrow. So I will see you then. Mwah.